Hi, good afternoon, and welcome to today's session that is on understanding IPRs. And we have a very experienced resource person today who is Govind Sharma. He is a startup consultant, mentor, and IPR resource person and technology commercial profession too. He is with us today to give some insights on IPR. And yes, it is the continuation session. Like in the last session, we have actually spoke about what is innovation and research and everything. And to continue that, like we are having this session, especially for you, to give clear understanding on IPR. I would like to invite Mr. Govind Sharma to this session. Sir, can you please unmute and switch on your video?
Okay.
Hi, sir.
Hi, how are you, Shaheen?
I'm great, and
Okay.
thank you so much for coming to this session and agreeing and accepting to take the session on IPR. So we are eagerly waiting to know about what are IPRs and how it is really going to help us in our innovations and everything. The stage is yours, and please go ahead, sir.
Okay. Can you see the slides?
Yes.
Okay. So now, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Shaheen, for introducing me. Today, I'm going to talk on IPR, idea to innovation to technology transfer. That means I'll consider everything. What are the different kind of IPRs that help in business? And they are important to academicians also in some means. And plus how to convert the idea into a technology or patent. I mean, like protecting the idea into making an intellectual property, and then how it is transferred. So that I am going to discuss with you. So friends, all of us know that the God has given us a wonderful thing that is called brain.
Yes.
Mother Earth has also given us enormous natural resources. So what we have done in the past, that the man who has used his brain on the available natural resources to create and to produce the products for our convenience and comfort. But what was happening at that time, that all these creation, what we have created in the past, they were all in the public domain. And once they are in the public domain, everybody can use our creation without any unrestrictedly, without any restriction and without making any payment to us. But they were very important creations. So realizing the commercial importance of those creations, all the government at the end of the 19th century thought, why should we not give the ownership right of these creation to the creator? Why they thought? Because suppose you have a house and you have the property, you have the ownership of your property, then you allow the people or you can disallow the people for use of your house. Similarly, if we give the ownership right of the creation to the creator, creator has a control over it. He may allow somebody, he may not allow somebody, or he can use, he can control his creation in his own way. So India got independence in 1947, and immediately after independence, our Indian slider not moving. Why they're not moving? Yes. So after the independence, our constitution was implemented. So the makers of our constitution, they have included, they have given enormous power to our parliamentarians to enact laws related to the trademark, copyright, inventions, design, patent, everything is there. So the parliament, they used to enact the law related to intellectual property. So in the past few years, the several IPR laws has been enacted by the parliament, such as the Patent Act 1970, which was amended by the Patent Amendment Act 2005. Then they enacted a Trademark Act in 1999, a Copyright Act in 1957, which was amended recently in 2012. Design Act was not there earlier, so in 2000 they have passed. Geographical indication was relatively a new act, which came into existence in 1999. Then we have Semiconductor Integrated Circuit Layout Design Act 2000, Protection of Plant Varieties Act 2001, and the Biological Diversity Act 2002. So all these laws which has been enacted by the Parliament, they are for the protection of the creation of the creator. The people who create these things, this kind of intellectual property, they are protected. But why this law has been enacted? The reason being, government wants to encourage the creativity in this country. So how you can increase the creativity? You can increase the creativity when you give some incentive. So these laws, they give some incentive in the form, they give a monopoly to the creator. Monopoly means not monopoly for always, but monopoly for a period of time. For some time they give the monopoly. We'll see when we'll go ahead, we'll see what are the intellectual property and for how long the protection is given for those intellectual property. So here the act has been created to give creator a control and monopoly on royalties for a period of time. That promotes creativity, that encourages others, because if you create something and you don't get in return of that thing, then you will not create further. So just and the people are not encouraged. Now when the creators are there, when the creator know that yes, there is a government to protect their creation or to protect their interest, so it encourages others also, not only to the existing creator, but for the others also. It encourages that that there is a law by which they can control, they can earn out of earn from that creation also. Now you see, if you sit down on the Google, you'll find thousands of definitions of intellectual property. But this is my definition of intellectual property. I call intellectual property as the tradable product of mind. That means whatever you are created by human intellect, by your brain, it must be linked with the commerce or with the revenue generation. So that is called the tradable product of mind. God. So a question arises that why should I protect my intellectual property? But there must be some reason. When we do something for some reasons. So the purpose for or the rationale for protection of IP, the reason is, one is the person who creates the intellectual property, he puts his time, effort, and money to create it. So he must reap due rewards from his creation. So how they can get? Once we give the ownership right, when we protect the creativity, yes, they can reap some, they can get some reward, they can earn something from their creation. So one of the reason being, because you put time, efforts, and money, so you must get some return out of it. So that is the one way of investing in creativity. So once you are sure that you are going to get back some money, you will invest in creating creating things also. Now, another advantage of it is to encourage the people to invest in this way. Now see how the foreign investment is coming today in India. Why the foreigners, they are interested in investing in India. Earlier, our intellectual properties laws were not that strong. Our intellectual properties were without teeth. So once they were without teeth, when somebody is coming in India, somebody is making, see, the foreign investor doesn't come with the money only. He comes with the technology also. If his technological rights are not protected, if the people may copy his technology, then he will remain nowhere. His investment will be wasted. So this encourages, after this World Trade Organization pressurized the government of India to strengthen our intellectual property law. And when the government of India strengthened our intellectual property law, Now you can sue somebody who copies your intellectual property. You can sue in the court of law. There are civil and criminal cases you can file against the copier or the somebody infringe your rights. So like that, it promotes investment in this country. And the most important reason is, see, the person who creates something, basically he is not using that invention or the creation. For example, a paracetamol is a medicine for managing your pain. Now, do you think the person who invented paracetamol is only consuming the entire paracetamol produced in the world? No. Actually, with your creation, the entire society is benefited. The societal benefit is very, very large. And whatever for example, if we have created a climatizer, that is the air conditioner, so the people who have money, who can afford, and in summer they can use the air conditioner. Car has been invented. Rich people who don't want to travel by public transport, they go. So actually, society as at large is benefited by your creation. Now, one more slide. I will try to explain with more slide. Why now? I think there are some startups or entrepreneurs also in this workshop. So for them, see,
Yes,
once you protect your idea, once you protect your creation, then that means you stop your competitor from directly copying it. Because the person, you are not only in the market. In the market, there are several people who are manufacturing the similar product. But suppose your product is improved and it is not protected, then it is very easy for your competitor to copy it. But in this case, suppose you protect your creation, you protect your product by some intellectual property tool, then the people know that this product is already protected by some intellectual property. They will never try to touch your product, because they know if you copy them, you will sue them in the court of law. And today, the punishment is very heavy punishment. It's not very simple. Even if you prove your case, you will be able to close down the factory, the production unit of your competitor also. So once you protect, the advantage is that you can stop your competitor from copying your idea. Second, help businesses maintain their long-term competitive edge. How it is? Because all these intellectual property, they have a life. For example, if you have a patent has a life for 20 years. That means you are sure that for the next 20 years, nobody can copy your creation. Now, registered IP is an asset. Why it is an asset? See, now, earlier in India, if you have a technology, or if you have one thing you must remember, that idea itself is not protectable. You have to fix the idea into some medium, only then it is protectable. You have to convert your idea. You have to reduce your idea into some practice or product or service, then it is protectable. Idea as such is not protectable. So registered IP is an asset. See what was happening. For example, suppose you have a product, you have a technology, you have a creation, or you have an idea, and if you want to start a startup and you don't have the money, if you go to the bank, the first question the bank will ask you, what collateral guarantee you will give. Bank is ready to make you the payment. Bank is ready to finance your startup. But the next question they will ask, what is the collateral guarantee you can give? If you don't have a collateral guarantee, you have an idea, you cannot practice your idea in the market. But in Oriental countries like Japan and Korea, if you have an idea, protected idea, what idea? Which idea? Protected idea. And you go to a bank, the bank will ask you a collateral guarantee. And if you say that you have a patent in your name, you have a copyright, you have a design in your name, the bank has a methodology, a mechanism to evaluate your idea, to evaluate your intellectual property. And on the basis of that, they can finance your startup. But India, it was not there. Now, thanks to the intellectual property policy 2016, which this Modi regime has brought into, that has given some concession to the startup companies. So that's why registered IP is an asset. You can monetize it. In countries like America, people donate registered intellectual property. If you donate the intellectual property, the government, the income tax department of America, they have a mechanism to evaluate your intellectual property, and the same amount they will deduct from your income. You can get that tax benefit that has not come in India yet, but hopefully it will come in the future. Then it gives consumer confidence. For example, a person like me, when I go to the market and buy a product, I see whether the company is innovative or not, how many patents, copyright, design the company has. So this gives a confidence. You know that the company is very innovative. When you go, if you go to a company which is not innovative, just copying all the time products, you will not buy, because you will not get the genuine product. Genuine product you will get from the company who protect their ideas, who protect their products. So it gives a confidence in the consumer that yes, look, they are buying the right product. Now enable entrepreneurs to license. I told you that if you have an intellectual property, if you don't want to start up your own, if you don't want to start up your own company, if you don't want to set up your enterprise, you have the right. For example, you have a house, you can license it to somebody to live. License means rent. The right word is license. You can license, you can permit. You can permit others to use your house. Similarly, if you have an intellectual property with you, you can give right to other. You can license. You can permit other entrepreneurs to use your intellectual property. Now there are various categories of intellectual property. Let us see one by them. There are 9 kinds of intellectual property all over the world. India also, all these things are there, but in India, the first 8 are practiced. The 9th one, utility model law. The act for utility model has not come yet in India, but in China, Europe, Korea, and some other, America, and some other countries, the law for utility model is also there. Now let us see what are these intellectual property one by one. The copyright and related right is the first. See, you can further classify intellectual property into 2. One is the copyright and related right, and second is the industrial property. So copyright and related right is 1, and all other 8 they comes under industrial property, because they are practiced in the business. Now copyright, let us see first copyright related rights. Maybe some of you may be teachers or maybe working in academic institutions. So you may be writing articles, you may be writing books, and some may be writing lyrics or the songs or the creating music. Somebody may be doing choreography also. It is very important for those people. That means you can copyright these kind of ideas. So what is it? Protects the expression of an idea. I told you the idea cannot be protected. Suppose you are very happy and you express your happiness by writing a lyric. Yes, the lyric which you create showing your happiness is protectable under copyright. So this protection is provided to the original author of the original work. See, all these intellectual property, your work should be original. The protection is given to the original worker. That is, whatever you create, it must be first time in the world, not first time in India. Because when you submit an application to any intellectual property office for protection of your idea, then they will examine whether such a thing exists there or not. If it exists anywhere in the world, they will ask you to withdraw your application. So this is provided to the author of the original work, including literary, artistic, and scientific work. Now it is extended to the computer software. In India, if you develop a computer software per se means if you develop a only computer software, then it is protectable under Copyright Act. But if you develop a hardware, that hardware is operable by a particular software, that also you develop for operating that hardware. In such a case, the hardware and the software both can be protected under invention, that is under by patents. So, but alone software alone is protectable in India by copyright. The neighboring rights are also accorded to phonogram producer, performers and broadcasting organizations. This is recently added in 2012. Now, the protection is given for for the life of the author plus 60 years after his death. Let us understand with the help of an example that Pandit Nehru wrote a book called Discovery of India. What was that book? Actually, Pandit Nehru wrote several letters when he was in jail. He wrote several letters to her daughter, Indira Priyadarshini, to show how the Indian history was there. And when he became the Prime Minister, his entire, all the letters, they were compiled into the form of a book and given under the title Discovery of India. So that book was protected by under in the name of Pandit Nehru under copyright, and he died in 1964, 27 May 1964. So after 60 years of Pandit Nehru died, all these things were enjoyed by their first by Indira Gandhi, then Rajiv Gandhi, then Sonia Gandhi. Now this work has come into public domain. That means anybody can use this work, anybody can publish this work, and anybody can use and earn money from this because it has lived his life. The protection of this work has lived its life. So once it has lived its life, then it comes in the public domain. You can use that work freely without the permission of the author or the creator. So one thing I want to tell you here, why it is called property? Because if you have a house, if somebody has a house and he dies, his house is automatically transferred in the name of his legal heir. Similarly, if somebody creates intellectual property and if he dies, then the right of the intellectual property automatically transferred to the legal heir of the creator. Now you see, there are several examples of this work. Some examples of the copyright are novel, poem, photograph, movie, lyric to a song, musical composition. See, if you see these records, the T-series records, everywhere you'll find the name of the lyricist, the name of the singer. If it is a video, the name of the choreographer, everything is there. Why it is there? Because once it is sold, the royalty, the money which is earned, the royalty which the T-series get is distributed among all these people, the lyricist, the choreographer, and the musician. Everybody gets a share out of it. That is already, there is an agreement between all these people that how much share will go to whom, that is distributed. Now, some other copyright work is that computing. I told you the computer software application, software code for programming tool or software application, software code for a website, software code to manage a database. They are also protected under copyright. Now, business databases, for example, if you prepare an examination paper, that can also be copyrightable. Manual of operation of an equipment. You are buying machineries in your laboratory, or you are buying a washing machine or the micro oven or television in your house. Then you comes with the machine comes with a user's manual. The user's manual is already copyrighted. Now, if you see in some of these books or some of the CDs, you will find this word C. This is a warning. It is warning to a user that yes, you have bought it. You can use it, but you cannot use it for commercial purposes. That means you are not allowed to copy it and sell. You are not allowed to perform on it and earn. Yes, you can use it. You can perform for your interest, for your satisfaction, for your entertainment, but not for other entertainment. If you earn money, then he will sue in the court of law. So many cases has happened. If the time permits, we'll see. Now, the next intellectual property. So this was the copyright is the only right which is automatically registered when the moment it is created. That means for copyright, you need not to go to the register of copyright to register it. If you want, you can go. If you don't want, you create the work and you email that work to yourself. That becomes a proof. What that proof? When you email the work you create to yourself, the date, time, everything comes. So when there is a court case, you can reproduce that email in the court to establish your ownership or the priority date. You can establish your priority. But I always suggest that you must register. Don't trust on this, because if somebody copied, somebody infringe your copyright law, copyright, then when you go to the court, if you are not registered with the copyright office, then you have to give so many proofs, and sometimes the court may not entertain your proof. But if you registered with the Registrar of Copyright Office, they will give you a beautiful certificate. The moment you produce that certificate in the court of law, the court accepts that certificate because it is issued by the government of India. Though it is an unregistered right, but I advise you to register it. Not very expensive. In 5,000 to 2,000 rupees only, very meager amount, you can register your right in the Registrar of Copyright Office. Now, next is the patent. Patent is a single most intellectual property which is responsible for the techno-economic development of any country. Very important law. And you see, whatever the technical and economic development, why America is so technically advanced? Because of his patents, research. Now, patent is again a monopoly. All these rights are monopoly right. Patent is also a monopoly right. But who gives? The government of India. For example, I'm talking of India. So government, other government also give. If you file there, their government can also give you. If an Indian file a patent in America, American government will give a monopoly right to the Indian. So here, a monopoly right is granted by the government. Why the government grant the right? Because you have to fully disclose your invention to the government of India. You have to reveal to the government of India that what is your invention and to whom it is given. It is given to the owner, that the creator, or suppose creator assign it to somebody. For example, you are working in a university and you are using university's time. University pay you to do some good work, and you are able to do some good work and you create some invention that is granted a patent. You may be the inventor, your name will be there in the patent as an inventor, but the owner of the patent will be your university, because university has engaged you in working on that invention. So the owner or is assigning, or you can assign also. You say, I am the inventor, but I am assigning the right to somebody, so he may get he may become the owner. Again, I told you, the right is given for a limited time. So in patent, in case of the patent, the 20 years are given. That means you can enforce your patent only up to 20 years from the date of filing of the application. That means the moment you file the application, from that date up to 20 years, you can stop others from using, making, selling your invention. Up to 20 years. After 20 years, it is free in the market. Anybody can use your invention without it. He need not to have permission from you. Then most important thing, it is a territorial right. Territorial right means if you file a patent in India, an Indian patent office is granting you a patent, and somebody copies your invention in China or Pakistan or Bangladesh or some other countries, you can't stop a Chinese from copying your invention. That's why I call it territorial right. That means you can enforce your right only within the geographical boundary of India. If somebody copies outside, you can't stop him in copying. Yes, you have one right. If somebody import that copied product. Somebody has copied your product in China and somebody wants to import that product from China. You can tell the custom department, you can inform the custom department that the product imported is based on my Indian patent. Yes, custom will stop the product from import in the Indian boundary. Only one right, that you can stop the import. That right is with you. Otherwise, somebody copies in China and sell in America, you cannot. So what is to be done? Invention is yours. You want to protect your invention. For that reason, for that purpose, you have to file a patent in those countries also where you want to protect your invention. The countries from where you have the threat of copying your invention, you have to patent that. Now, the things are not patented. The invention is not patented as such. There are certain requirements for getting your patent, your invention to be patented. So patent is granted only for a process or a product or both. For example, you develop a new process, you developed a product called paracetamol and you developed a process for making it. In such a case, the title of your invention will be a process for making paracetamol and the product thereof. That means both process and product are protected by the help with the patent. Now, suppose the product already exists, but you developed a new improved process for making the existing product. In such case, in that case, you can protect your process, not the product, but the process you can protect. So requirement is your invention must be either a process or a product, or it can be both. Now it must be new. New means absolute novelty. Absolute novelty means it should not be known to anybody anywhere in the world. Though I told you in the earlier that though you will be granted patent only in India. When I was in service, I worked for 33 years. We were giving assistance for patent. Many of the Indian people, students, the grown-ups, everybody, the illiterates, the villagers, they are coming with some proposal. Sir, this is our invention and we have done first time in the country. First time in the country is not the sufficient to get a patent in India. So novelty means, mind it, absolute novelty. It should be first time in the world. Though you will be granted patent only in India, but your invention will be examined against whatever literature, whatever has been, the things has been reported across the globe. So examination will be against available literature all over the world, and the protection will be given only in India. So must mind it. The second step, which is very important, the second requirement for granting a patent is inventive step. For example, suppose there may be some people, if something is there in the nature and you identify that thing and it is not reported anywhere in the world, it is not known to the world, and you cannot claim it as your invention because you have not done anything. It is the invention of nature, but you have identified it, you have discovered it. So this is a discovery. So discovery is not patentable. Inventive step means you must have work on it. It must have been done in the laboratory or in the industry. Whatever you have created in the laboratory. That means human intervention. You take the raw material, do some processing on it, get something new which is not known. That is the invention. So you must have inventive step. That means you must have work upon it. For example, you identify a bacteria or enzyme from the nature, which is already there, and you discovered it. It cannot be patentable, but suppose you genetically modified the available bacteria or the enzyme in such a way that it performs a certain function. It performed a certain function which it was not performing when it was in the nature. In that case, that is called the inventive step. So what is inventive step? advancement in the existing technology, advancement in the technology, or economic advantage. Advancement in the technology or economic advantage, or both. You must demonstrate. You must have to demonstrate the technical advancement or economic advantage, or both, in some product or in some process. That is called the inventive step. The purpose is that a person is skilled with this your patent, your invention, or your product should not be known to a person skilled in that art. In your discipline, somebody is there, it should not be known to him. Now, the other requirement is capable of industrial application. Capable of industrial application means the product of your invention or the process of your invention can either be practiced in the industry or can be made in the industry. It can be used in the industry or it can be produced in the industry. Industrial applicability, not in air. Not in air. Your invention should not be air. Must be some, you have to, though the intellectual property is intangible property, but in case of a patent, you have to convert. See, what is basically an invention? Invention completes in 2 steps. All inventions, they complete in 2 steps. That is, in first step, you get an idea. To conceive an idea, the first step is to conceive an idea, and second step, the idea, there is no product. And in second step, you reduce the idea into practice. That means you have to convert into something tangible. So that is called capable of industrial application. Then other requirement is when you submit an application to the patent office. See all these intellectual property are not given as it of own. In all that, whatever intellectual property, I've shown the 9 kind of intellectual property. If your product falls in any of these intellectual property, then you have to submit the application in that intellectual property. It's not suo motu. You have to submit the application. You have to provide through the detail in the relevant office along with some fee and other things. You have to submit. Then your application will be examined whether what you have claimed is correct or not. If they find your claims are correct, if they are not correct, they will give you a chance to justify your claim. If you are able to justify, your application will be accepted. If you are not able to justify, it is not rejected. There is nothing rejection in intellectual property. It is called either acceptance or the objection. It is objected and you have to withdraw your application. So you have to, when you submit an application, you have to fully disclose your invention in the patent document. That means you have to submit some 5 pages, 10 pages, 12 or a 50-page report. That report contains the full description of your invention in a techno-legal way, not only scientific way, scientific legal way. Your entire details of the product, must be described in the application in a techno-legal way. Now, next is not barred by section 345 of the Patent Act. What is section 345? Section 345 tells you what is patentable and what is not patentable. For example, the mathematical formula, the mathematical equations, the mathematical or scientific theories. Scientific theories, they are not patentable because they are theories. Now, method of treatment of plant and animal, they are not patentable. So a product which is against the social order, something which is against the society, for example, an atom bomb. You developed an altogether new process. Atom bomb is a technical thing. You develop a atom bomb which is altogether new invention, new mechanism. Because it is the product of mass destruction, you cannot file a patent for atom bomb. So like that, you cannot file a patent for the something which is against the social order. What happens for filing a patent? I am audible to all?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you want, we can take a few minutes break also. That is also goes well with us.
If you are interested, then I don't have any problem. I can continue.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Just 2 minutes break. We'll meet at 4.
Okay. Okay.
I mean 3:47.
Okay. Okay. As you wish. Okay. Wish. 3:47. 3:45. What time you will break? Hello, Shine. Anyway.
3:45 now. 3:45 now.
You will break. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So we'll meet at 3:47. 2 minutes break.
Okay. Okay. So I think.
You stay. You just stay here. I'm just like.
Let me continue with more flight. See, for filing a patent, you need not to have a very high qualification. You should not have a DSc or PhD from Massachusetts or IIT or any some institution, or there is no qualification for any patent, or you need not to do any rocket science. You need not to do any rocket science or very high advanced technology. Even the simplest thing can be patentable. What I want to tell you that you have to identify a problem. What is basically a patent? A patent is a technical solution to a technical problem. So how you will get a patent? You have to identify a problem that needs a solution. And if you are able to find a unique solution to that problem, because the world is full of problems, any technical problem you find out, and you find a solution to it. What kind of solution? A unique solution which is not known to anybody, that is patentable. Now I give an example of this paper clip. Paper clip is the most simple invention in the world. It was first time patented in 1867. What was the problem? How to hold the papers. How to hold the paper. So what is the paper clip? Paper clip is a simple straight steel wire which is turned into U shape or triangular in 2 times, and then it is converted in such a shape that it can hold the piles of papers, 1 paper or 2 paper, 3 paper. That is the paper clip. It was patented in 1867. It is called James clip now. When we were working, James clip. I do not know what you call, but James clip. After 1867, more than 150 years ago, this has been patented. Now, after that, there have been so many improvements. It has again patented 67 times. Such a simple technology, such a simple invention, which has been patented 65 times. And each time it has been improved. And then I told you, improvement can also be patentable. If the product is somebody else has developed a product, but you find that there could be some improvement in that product, those improvements can be patented in your name. Now you see, last time it was patented as in 2012 by He Wang, a Chinese person, patented in US. What he claims, that his paper clip can hold thick piles of paper, which the earlier paper clips were not doing. So see, such a simple thing is patent. So for patent, you don't think that you have to do something big. There are so many problems in each corner of this world. Some problems are created, some are automatic. So you have to identify a problem, and you have to find what problem. See, some problems, they don't need solution, but you have to identify a problem that needs a technical solution, and that solution should be unique. You are able to get a patent on it. I think it is 3:48. If you want, you can break for 2 minutes. We can again reassemble. I'm here. Shine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So in the meanwhile, please you to have some water and coffee, whatever.
So, but meet at sharp 3:50, okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are good to go now. So
Okay,
start again.
okay, okay. Very good. Very good. Now you see my next example. See, this is called Anyway Up Cup. The lady you see is called Maddie Haverson. She's a British lady. She has kids. Once she was invited by her friend in the evening, and her friend offered her kid, she was a toddler, a glass of black currant juice. She was a child, so this glass fell from her hand, and the beautiful cream color carpet was spoiled. She has to cut a sorry figure. Generally, when we visit our friend's house and our children does some silly things, we have to cut a sorry figure. Sometimes some people they think that we don't inculcate good habits on our children, but children are children. You can't help them. So see, what was the problem? The problem came in her mind. She's not a technical person. The problem came to her mind that can there be a solution to this problem? That if somebody offers the children something and they are not able to spill it. So this was the problem that needs solutions. It came to her mind. So what she did, she used a cup. This is a cup. You can see a green cup, and there is a mouthpiece. She put a valve at the mouthpiece. Very simple valve, a small valve. So what happens when the children suck the water, juice, or milk, whatever it is, from this cup, when he suck or when he press the mouth, the liquid start flowing into her mouth. When releases the pressure, the flow of liquid stop. This is the world's first non-spill sippy cup. She got it patented in 1993 in Great Britain. Now you see, she has sold 100 million. So see the business. Such a simple thing. Where plastic cup is known, a non-return valve is known, but the only thing how to put in such a way that it forms a product that solves the problem. There were many people. There were many people after her. They filed a case against her in the patent court, but the patent judge said, if this thing was so simple, it was known why the product has not been under your nose, why it was not in the market. So see, such a simple a problem, and she found a simple solution, and the product is there. And last 35 years, she's doing business on this and earned more than 100 million US dollars. She's a housewife. So the idea to tell you is that to find because most of you are entrepreneur, but a startup does not mean you make some software application. I'm a startup consultant and judging many of the startup products. But 80-90% I find the software application. That's all. See, such kind of products, they are needed. You have to look at difficult. These are the some of the problematic area which we should look at and then find the solution. I'll give you one more example. This is one example. See, this is the most ridiculous invention I have seen. See, people have gas in their stomach, and you can't stop people releasing their gas. Sometimes this gas is foul smell, and it causes problem to the people surrounding and the person who releases the gas himself. So what to do? See, this is the problem somebody has identified. The flatulence deodorizer. The title of the invention is this. In April 2000, somebody filed a patent application, and he got a patent also. This product, you see here, it's a pad. That pad is filled with activated carbon. You know activated carbon. Activated carbon has a property to absorb foul smell and colors. So this pad, which is filled with activated carbon, we can wear in our undergarment. Now you are at freedom. Now you are at liberty to release gas anywhere without any trouble. It absorbs, but it doesn't stop here. This has a big business. Amazon in America, Amazon.com in America, Amazon, it is not .in India, I have not seen. You don't find such examples, because I collect this example for you people from various sites. See, Amazon.com is selling this. It is a commercial, it's a startup company is there who is manufacturing this product and selling through Amazon. And see, 5 out of 5 stars. Such a wonderful product. And only 16 left in stock. The price $89, $89.5 for 30 days supply. Because the gas you release every day. So one day, one pad, for 30 days supply is available. So the people are so, I think, good in identifying problem. So you don't think that this product is very, this problem is very silly problem. People will not accept it like that. No. There are people who can accept all kinds of problems. Yeah. So it is converted into a product, and this product is well received in the market, and it is in the market. Next intellectual property right is the industrial design. See, majority of the people in this world, they buy the product by seeing the design. Design means physical appearance of the product. What this industrial design protects is an intellectual property. Industrial design product protects the physical appearance of the product. How a product look like, by seeing how it looks like an eye. That means you have to take 5 photographs of the product and submit with the application, and the design office will see. If it is a new design, they will protect your designed product. For example, you can see this water bottle in my hand. I'm using it. The purpose is to keep water and use it. Now you have seen in market several design of these water bottles. I like this, or somebody has gifted me this, so I'm using it. Some people like different designs. Functionality is to keep the water. Do you think the water in this bottle is not a pure water, and water in another bottle becomes a ganga water? No. The property remains the same, but it is the personal preference of the people. 70 to 80% product in this world are sold by design. So people, the intelligent people, they are always working on the development of design, because there's no function. It doesn't make harms to the people who are using this bottle. It doesn't make any harm. There's no function. That just looks nice that you drink water from a particular design. Is that how it pleases your eyes, the design? No functionality, no function. So 80, 72, for example, you have so many saucer and cups in your house you use for tea, and you go to the mall and you see a beautiful design. Though you don't require it, you already have 3 sets at home. But it appears to have, oh, this must be in my house. It's a beautiful design. So tea is tea, whether in your already you are having a cup or you are buying a cup, a designer's cup, tea always remains tea. The taste doesn't changes. The things. You see how the startup and the businesses, they are doing it. Some people are concentrating only on designs. So characterized by the appeal of eye, and the protection for this is only for the 5 years initially, but you can renew it 2 times, that is 5 year, up to 15 years. After 15 years, this product, this design will become in the public domain. When I say public domain, that means the people are allowed to use it freely. Let us see what these are. See, chairs are always used for sitting and resting, you know. Now you see, these are all chairs. Specific function. You can just sit in somebody else's house, in your house, in some hotel, some restaurant, railway station. you might have seen different kind of chairs. I like this kind, you like this kind. Everybody has a market. So this, design also plays a very, very important role in your commercialization of the product. This is a design made by a Bulgarian designer, Ilyan Milinov. Here, it does some, those are design, but some function he has mentioned it. See, somebody having a bulky wife or a bulky girlfriend, and he wants to make a romance, and he wants to lift her in his arms. So if she's bulky, then the boy, he can't lift him more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and he can throw him. House, start. So what he did, he designed this kind of chair, the Bulgarian, where the other one person can sit here, and the second person can sit on this. Otherwise, also, this is not the only work it does. It can be used for other purposes also. You can sit here. You can on the other side. You can keep your laptop, your mobile phone, your coffee cup, or your water bottle, or your coffee cup. Anything you can keep, or your newspaper, you can keep it also. So this is also a design which I call a hug chair. This is called a hug chair. See, the way the boom box, you listen music, that's all. So the speaker can be rectangular, spiral, whatever it is, cars, toothbrushes, mobiles. See the design of the mobiles, various kind of mobiles. So this is the intellectual design. Now let us go to next intellectual property, trademarks. Trademarks are generally used for identification of the product. My childhood friend who makes television for all kind of companies in Noida. He has a factory, my childhood friend, he has a factory, makes television for all time. Suppose I keep 5 television before you and none of them have a sticker. And I ask you to identify which is Sony, which is Sony, which is Samsung, which is Philips, which is LG. It is very difficult to identify. If there is a sticker of trademark is there, for example, Sony, Samsung, if it isn't, and I ask, you can easily identify that this is Sony, this is Samsung, this is LG. So trademarks are generally used for identifying the product of a company. Shape, size, everything can be same, but you can identify only when some mark is over the product. So they are the symbols. Sometimes they are colors. The designs also plays a trademark. The Coca-Cola bottle design or Yakult. You might have Yakult is some drink which is which contains some enzyme that soothes your belly. It's a Japanese drink. So they have registered their bottle design as well as the trademark. You cannot, nobody can make those kind of those type of batters because registered trademark. So trademark, basically with the help of trademark you identify product of one company from the other. So it can be color, it can be tagline also. It can be tagline, full line also. You can write tagline. Now nowadays sound and smell can also be registered as a trademark. In America, a company makes embroidery thread. That embroidery thread as a typical some flowers aroma. So you can without reading the sticker on it, if you smell the thread, you can say this is this company's sound. For example, if you open the Airtel mobile, when you open a Airtel mobile, it gives a very peculiar sound, which other mobile phone doesn't give. So even the blind person, he can find, when you open, he can find, yes, it is a Airtel mobile. They are also, so sound can also be registered today as a trademark. Why should we register trademark? Trademark actually makes our customer to identify a product And over a period of time, this trademark becomes a quality symbol. How? See, I told you my friend makes television for all. The same television which Samsung sells, Sony sells in 25,000 rupees and Samsung in 20,000 rupees. But many people, the same television, that means instead of buying Samsung, they buy Sony for 25,000 rupees. Because they know if it is Sony, it must be good. It has established a name in the market. It is a quality, it has become the quality and reliability symbol. Trademark. So that's why an entrepreneur must find a catchy trademark for his product and he must register it. Then again, if somebody mislead the customer, you might have seen in the newspaper, I do not know in South, but in Hindi, I'm in Hindi belt, nakkalon se savdhan. That means the cheaters, the copiers. Please be aware of the copiers. They tell them in the market, these products are available by this trademark, which is similar to ours, but they are the spurious products. They are ties, and they go to the court of law also. I told you, if somebody infringe your copyright, infringe your this intellectual property, you can go to the court of law, and the person can be fined up to 3 lakhs rupees and 3 years imprisonment, and you can bring the you can bring the order to close down the company, and you can have a share from his sales, whatever he has sold till today. Suppose he is selling for the last 5 years, whatever he has sold for the 5 years, the court will ask him to share a major amount with you. And trademark is an intellectual property which is eternal. It doesn't have any end. But every 10 years, you have to renew it. See, these are some of the prominent trademarks. See, next intellectual property I want to discuss with you is the geographical indication. Geographical indication, as the name suggests, the geographical origin of the product. You are from Andhra, Shaheen, you are from Andhra Pradesh, I think.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So there is a Pochampalli sari, you know.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So the moment I have two at home, one is silk and another is cotton. When I visit, I buy a sari for my wife wherever I go.
Great.
Because yes. I have to enter the house after tour.
Absolutely.
So this Pochampalli, the moment I say Pochampalli, the people recognize it must come from Andhra Pradesh. So it tells the geographical origin of the product. Suppose I bring some artisan from Andhra Pradesh to Jaipur. Currently I'm in Jaipur.
Okay.
So suppose I bring some artisan to Jaipur. I bring thread, color, and the looms, everything from Jaipur. And food also for the artisan from, artisan from Andhra Pradesh. So now in Jaipur, I have created all the facilities, bringing the product from Andhra Pradesh to Jaipur. And suppose I make saris here in Jaipur using entire Andhra product, I cannot sell it as a Pochampalli sari.
Yes.
That is why, because Pochampalli sari must come from Andhra Pradesh. It must originate from the Andhra Pradesh. So what was the problem? Why this act has been brought in? The problem was that there are so many people I've seen in Delhi. I lived in Delhi for 33 years. So I was working with the government of India. So in Delhi, you go to Kraul Bagh. If you go to this cloth market, you'll find several people. Oh, come sir, come in our house. I'll give you Pochampalli. I'll give you Kanjivaram, and so many brands. Maheshwar saris, Kota saris. They are all spurious things. So what was happening? They were causing loss not to the rural artisans, but to the customers also. Why customer? Because you are not getting the right product. You are getting the spurious product. And secondly, the people who are really working in the village area for making these products, they are also the losers, because some others are earning on their credibility, earning on their reputation. Okay, so in such a case, the government has enacted a law in India in 2000, Geographical Indication Act. So why? Because why this product has been protected, and why these products are famous? Because these products, the quality of this product is because of the local climate, the soil, the environment, the water there. So it makes, and the local artisan, because they have 1,000 years old legacy, and they have made so many improvements. Because see, the illiterate people are not intelligent people; they are also intelligent. They also incorporate new designs, technology in the existing product. Pochampalli sari, you see, what was 100 years ago is not today. The newer designs, new colors, they have new kind of threads have come. So these things they have the quality because of the local artisan or the local climate, which you cannot, the climate and artisan you cannot create in other part of the world. So that's why the protection of these people was very, very necessary. So government gave them this protection. And how the protection is given, we just studied trademark. Trademark is given to the individual company. But the geographical indication, because there is not only one artisan manufacturing Pochampalli sari in Andhra Pradesh, there are thousands. And suppose all these 1,000 people, they make an association and then apply for registration of Pochampalli, registration for the Pochampalli sari, and the registration is accepted, then these all 1,000 people can use the name Pochampalli for their saris in trade. While trading, they can say that is all the 1,000. The people who are not member of the group cannot use Pochampalli trademark. Follow me? So the group, the association filed the registration case for them to the government. And when the government accept it, government provide them a trademark also. Pochampalli sari has a trademark. Then how to identify? Suppose I am a buyer, I go to the market and somebody says that this is Pochampalli. What I'll see whether that logo is there or not. And the people who are not part of that association, maybe some opponents, some people, they are of different mind. They are not, we don't want to become the member of an association. Those 10, 12 or 100 people, they cannot sell their product as a Pochampalli sari because they are not registered. I gave example from your state, the Pochampalli. There are various, let us see, there are several such cases. See, these are some international things: Colombian coffee, India basmati rice, Ojo spirit, France. There is a place called Champagne, the village where these grapes are grown. Grapes are grown in Andhra Pradesh also. So these grapes are converted into wine. They called champagne. But it is not only the grapes are converted to wine. There is a process for it. Once this wine is made, it's a sparkling wine. Once this wine is made, it is kept in the bottle for 2 years for complete fermentation. That fermentation takes place inside the bottle. That is the technology these people have developed over the centuries. Champagne. You cannot make champagne here. You can sell, you can bring champagne bottle from France. You can open a store, but can't make it. Okay. Now see, basmati rice, Kolhapuri, chappal, Banarsi sari. See, Darjeeling tea was the first geographical indication given by the Indian government. So there is a tea, there are tea gardens in Darjeeling. Thousands of people are going. They are the growers. So the growers have made an association and submitted an application because this law is new, came in just 2001. So all these people, they made an association, submitted an application to the government to protect the Darjeeling tea and they got the registration. So Shine, when next time you buy Darjeeling tea, you must see this logo.
Yes.
If this logo is not there, the product is spurious.
Noted. Yes.
So similarly, so I call it as a collective trademark. Earlier trademark is a single trademark. This is a collective trademark given to a group. So all the people who are growing Darjeeling, who are growing tree in Darjeeling, and who are the member of the association, they can use this Darjeeling tea, and that gives a guarantee. And when you buy the real product, a true product, a portion of the royalty goes to those poor people who grows. Okay. So this is the next intellectual property, layout design of integrated circuit. See, accommodation of thousands electrical functions. Accommodation of thousands electrical functions have become possible on a small chip due to the development of semiconductor technology. See, when I saw the first computer in Arkipuram in Delhi, it was kept in a very big house and doing nothing. Now, with the development of semiconductor, the size of the product is reduced. The raw material consumed is less, and you are able to make product cheaper and affordable to everybody. So what is all the functions? For example, in washing machine, you might have seen Shine is using a washing machine. On the top of the washing machine, there is a plate, and all that plate, all the functions are mentioned. And whatever she wants to do, just push a button and can do electrical function. Earlier it was not like that. Earlier it was not there. For each function, you have to have a circuit. Now you can put all the function on single circuit. A chip is very small thing. So it has become possible semiconductor. What is that chip basically? What is that circuit, integrated circuit? What is layout design? Basically, in electrical circuit, in electronic circuit, there are so many electrical components. A diode is there, resistor is there, a connector is there, wires are there. So how they are placed together in 2-dimensional or 3-dimensional form. There are 5 washing machine manufacturers, and all the 5 washing machine manufacturers have a different kind of layout design for their integrated circuits. I do not know how functionally they are different, but they perform certain functions. So this is also comparatively a new act came in the India in 2000. It is similar to copyright, and the protection is given only for the 10 years. See, this is a micro circuit which I want to show you. Next intellectual property is trade secret. See, which intellectual property I want to protect or an industry want to protect with intellectual IP tool is a business decision. Since you are working in a university, your purpose of protection of intellectual property is different for the people who are working in the industry. An academician protects intellectual property for his or her glorification, because in her CV, she or he may write that she has 10 copyrights, 5 patents, 7 designs. Okay, he can write so many things in in his CV. And nowadays, if you apply for some position in IITs, they first say, they don't see your research paper, they see how many intellectual property you have in your name. And I want to tell you, even 2%, all over the world, even 2% of the intellectual property or the patent see the light of the day. All those other are bogus. They are not commercialized. But for academic people, it is good. And you see, all this intellectual property, it costs money. In India, it is cheaper because I have filed patent in America, Europe, and China also I have filed. In other places, very, very expensive. Sometimes I have to spend some 3 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs, 10 lakhs, 8 lakhs in France. So such a very expensive. So business people, they see what advantage they are going to get by protecting their intellectual property. If if the advantage is not substantial, they will not protect it. That's why I tell you. That's why I told you it is a business decision. Management has to take a decision in industry. I was told that some entrepreneurs are there in my lecture. So, which intellectual property you have to protect is a business decision. How much advantage I am going to get from this property? Yes, but for the academician, they can file because they are glorified. The people who has the teacher who has maximum patent considered to be a very big scientist, very big inventor, and he get better opportunities, better career options in his life or her life. But in business, it's not like that. Here, I will explain this thing, this trade secret, with help of an example. See, all intellectual property has a life. For example, patent has a life for 20 years. Trade secret are the secret business information, and they remain secret as long as they remain to your heart or you keep them secret. The moment you divulge it, these loses their value. So I will explain this with the help of an example. You must have seen the Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is a company who manufactures soft drinks. This company was in Florida manufacturing wine and the beer. By a state order, that means state asked to close down all the liquor factories. So Coca-Cola has to close down their liquor plant, their beer plant. Maybe because of social reason, the government asked to close down at that time in 1887 or 1890. 1890 they have asked. So 125 years ago, they have to close down the factory because there was a government order. Now there were two options with the Coca-Cola, either to close down it or shift their business to some other product. So they developed a formulation for a soft drink that is a fizz, that has a peculiar color, and that has a aroma, that is a peculiar taste. Now you see the formulations are patentable everywhere. Now suppose the Coca-Cola patent its formulation, and patent has a life for 20 years. After 20 years, the Coca-Cola formula will be in the market. There will be hundreds of Coca-Cola manufacturers in the world. But today, you see only one Coca. I have traveled to around 40 countries in this world. Almost all the continents I have traveled. I have seen Coca-Cola everywhere and the same bottle. So Coca-Cola, what they thought, if they will patent their invention, the invention will live only for 20 years, and at the 21st year, many more Coca-Cola manufacturers will come up like mushroom. So what they thought? They thought that they will keep this formula secret to their heart. Because of that, their digestion was very good. So they could not divulge, they could not open the formula. And last 125 years, there is only one Coca-Cola manufacturer who is manufacturing Coca-Cola all over the world with the same taste, same color, same fizz, same aroma. Now this Coca-Cola has been able to kept his business intact only with two intellectual property. One is the trade secret and another is the trademark. And design also, to some extent, design also. But design, it comes in the public domain in 15 years. Trademark never comes. So this trade secret and the trademark Coca-Cola and the design of the Coca-Cola bottle, these two intellectual property are keeping the safeguard of Coca-Cola. And they are able to do business with these two intellectual property 125 years. And this formula is kept at a time only with the two people in Coca-Cola company. At a time, only two people keep. And these two people are never allowed to travel together in the same transport in the same direction. If something happens, both of them will die, and formula will also go with them. So they keep the certificate, but have certain safeguards also.
Sir, I would request to conclude because we are running short of time,
Okay.
and we have to take the questions from the participants also.
Okay. I'll finish it. Yeah. So another intellectual property protection of plant varieties. Plant varieties, actually, India has not signed the UPO now because it was against our farmers. The farmers cannot use the hybrid seed again and again. So that's why the government of India has not signed this UPO. But we have our own sui generis system. We have given liberty to the farmers. They can use their produce for further cultivation, further propagation. But the protection is given to novel, distinctive, stable, and uniform variety of the hybrid seed, and the right is given for the 20 years. Because you don't have agriculture people, I think it will not be useful. Now, the last one is the utility model. Utility model is basically a design, but it is a functional design. That was a design. This is also a design, but that design has nothing to do with the functionality. It was a just physical appearance. This design has some functionality. I will explain it with the help of an example. See, this is jerry can, which is used for carrying water. The laborers in our house, they carry water in it. Maximum they can carry 2 jerry can with them, but it's very tiring and troublesome. So what they did, some people, they put 2 casters, I mean the 2 wheel at the bottom and 1 adjustable handle over it. So now this is a incremental invention. So this comes under utility model. Now, because dragging is easier than lifting, so it serves some purpose. It has some invention, but not a very big invention. So it is protected in some countries where the Utility Model Act works. It can be protected as a utility model. So this is my, I think we have concluded. So say, I want to tell you that suppose you are a business, you are an entrepreneur, what intellectual properties are available with you to protect your product. Here I'll give an example of a watch. See the watch. This watch has a design, right? Why some watch are circular. Now this you see some contours. So this is a different design. So others are not doing it. So you can register the design right. Now JCW as a trademark. You can register JCW as a trademark right with the registrar office. Now suppose you have made a mechanism. You have developed a mechanism that incorporates you in the watch, that makes your watch more precise and more accurate. In such a case, you can protect that mechanism with the help of a patent right. All machines you buy in the market, they come with a guarantee card and a user manual. So this guarantee card and the user manual can be protected as a copyright. So 4 intellectual property are always at your disposal. You can, these 4 intellectual property, you can always protect when you have your own business or you have a existing industry or your startup company. These 4 intellectual property are always there. Other intellectual property we discussed. If your product is it falls under some specific discipline, then other intellectual property can also be taken with the product. The technology transfer I cannot take because the time is not permitting me. So I will straight away come to here. This is for the my entrepreneur friends. But intellectual property is the oil of the 20. It is not the money, but the intellectual property that will govern your business in future. Maddie Henderson said she has been able to protect her business for the last 35 years just because of the intellectual property. And this is what I say about intellectual property. Now the floor is open for any questions.
Yes, so if you have any questions, please unmute yourself and ask the question. Yes, anyone? You can even type it in the chat box so that I'll ask the question.
Good evening, sir. Hmm. Thank you, sir, for enlightening us to the various things of IP, intellectual property. Sir, if I want to register a startup, so under which category can I do it, sir?
Yes, yes. What is your question? If you want to register your
Register
startup.
Startup, yeah. Under which category can I proceed it, sir?
If it is a startup, it will register with DIPP, but for that you must have some innovation in your enterprise. So better innovation means if you have some idea, some workable idea which has been protected by any form of intellectual, any tool of intellectual property, whether it's a design, a patent, a copyright. For example, a software you can protect with the help of copyright, then you can register DIPP. And another thing I want to tell you, why you protect your invention. See, people have all the time new ideas, and new idea leads to new business and new services. But remember, the idea that comes in your mind is not your idea, because the same idea can come in others' mind also anywhere in the world. So the person who take the faster step and register its idea is the clear winner. So when an idea comes to your mind, never discuss your idea with anybody before protection and before filing an application for protecting it in any IP regime, in an IP tool. Now, once the registration has been done, don't wait for grant. Registration is enough, because the moment you register your idea, or you submit, sorry, not idea, the moment you submit your application, from the same date, you start getting protection. Then you can you can register your startup anywhere. Another advantage of this is when you go for angel funding, public funding, or anybody's funding, the first question the funding agency will ask you, have you protected your idea? You say no, then they will not fund your project. Why? Because the moment you go commercial and it is not protected, other people will copy it, because they have not spent any money in the development. They didn't spend any money in develop. They didn't fund anything, put any money in the development. For them, it is easier and cheaper and simple. They will be much more ahead than you in the market. And secondly, the person who funded your project has to lose the money. So the first thing, because when people come to me, I was in service, they were coming for angel funding to me. I was asking, have you protected it? If you have not protected it, I will support you. You go and protect, you file an application, then you come to me. That's why in a startup company, the first requirement is, have you registered your IP?
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. To add to that, like I would like to add a few more points. Like, sir, to register a company, you don't have to have any IPRs in place.
Yes.
After registering, also you can have your IPRs, and even IPRs you can register on your own name as an individual. You can register IPRs, and you can even register your IPR, your ideas to the company also.
Why they do it? Let me tell you. Because I have done it. 33 years I have done it. So why they see some people who create an intellectual property in their name, when they open a company, they transfer the right. They transfer the right to the company, their own company, and they take a share in the profit of the company.
Yes.
That means they charge royalty from the company. They charge royalty from the company. So it's a two-way benefit they are getting.
Absolutely. Yes. Anyone else? Thank you, Rahul Reddy, sir. Thank you so much. Anyone else who have questions?
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, am I able to answer your question, Rahul?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So yes. So I think like they don't have any questions, and it's really amazing to have this session with you today, sir. Like in the beginning, like I may feel like maybe this is going to be very boring, but you made it very fun and joyful by giving the examples, live examples, and who have already patented on small products and how they have identified the problem. Though we might feel that that is a silly problem, but that silly problem became a patent to somebody else. So this is a lot of informative.
That is earned money too also. They earn a lot of money out of it.
So it's really amazing. It's really informative session for all of us. It's added to our knowledge bank actually. So I think most of the participants agree with this idea that like it's really added to their knowledge also. Thank you so much for giving us your time, and we are looking forward to have more sessions like this from you.
I speak on strategies of patenting. I speak on commercialization of patent. So there are so many topics with me in IP, different
Yes.
IP, because I have lived with IP for several years. So I have several real life examples also.
That is reflecting now. Like
I licensed more than 100 technologies
oh,
in my
great.
life, and in all discipline, in chemical, mechanical, and in biomedical, medicines, and so many things. I've done it. And one
Yes,
more
sir,
thing to
it's
do, you please send me the feedback of the participants, because it helps me in improving my session.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. We love your enthusiasm, and it's really pleasure to have you today. Thank you so much for giving us time. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Welcome.
Yeah.
God bless you all.
Thank you. Yes. Thank you all. Thank you. We'll see you in the next session.